I just want to share a little bit of some story about our life before I introduce to you our singers who will share to us a wonderful song. And the reason why I wanted to give you an idea, especially for those who weren't here when I preached this, when I included this in my preaching, I wanted you to know that our lives, Papi and I and my children, our lives were not really perfect. But the moment God assigned us and gave us that commanding order to leave the Philippines, so we were deported from the Philippines. But at the point of crossing over here in 2006, I didn't know that I personally, because I came here before Papi and the children came, so I was alone, but God really allowed me to go through series of challenges, and then obstacles were always thrown at me by the enemy as if telling me, give up and go back home. And I was already at the point of giving up. I wanted to go back to the Philippines because I said, sayang yung promising career in Philippines. But here, why is it that I already obeyed, but I still experience trials and testings when I arrived here? So it was like crossing the Red Sea when I stepped into UAE. But looking back now, we're here for 16 years already and counting more. And God started ACCI Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi will be turning 15 years next year. To God be the glory. And Dubai, and again, God instructed me to step into Dubai, a very unknown territory and very scary, especially for me, a lady. But now, the reason why we are celebrating this is because today is the 10th year of God's faithfulness. Sobrang grabing katapatan na hindi ko ma-describe. Yung faithfulness ni Lord, yung provisions niya over the past 10 years for ACCI Dubai family. And I thank God for all the men and women who stood with us, with me, when we started here, when we didn't know where to go. We didn't know who to reach out to. And I remember always this wonderful song that God has planted in my heart back in 2006, the very first time I came to UAE, just to obey the marching order of God to leave the Philippines. And this song, entitled The Prayer, was used by God over and over and over again while I was going through the Red Sea back in Abu Dhabi at the time. And I knew in my heart that the Father in heaven was really watching me, how I'm going to respond to all these obstacles and hindrances and trials. And the moment I want to give up, the Lord will always remind me of this song, The Prayer. And to God be the glory, ACCI Dubai is now celebrating 10 years. For those 10 years, we thank God over and over and over again because He used faithful and courageous men and women from ACCI Dubai to step into 7 countries, and other Emirates as well, in Sharjah, and even in the Philippines, because God really has a great plan for many people, for communities, and even nations. And I'd like to introduce to you 2 singers, 2 anointed and very obedient singers who will render the song, The Prayer. I'd like to call in front Derek Villanueva and Claire de los Reyes. Amen? So let's give a clap offering to the Lord our God.
I pray you'll be us with your grace to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai
I pray we'll find our light
nel cuore resterà
and hold it in our heart.
a ricordarci che
When stars go out each night,
eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our prayer.
Quanta fede c'è
When shadows still day, lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be safe.
Sogniamo il mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno dia la mano vicino, simbolo di pace e di fraternità. La forza c'è di
We
dare
ask that love be
il
kind
desiderio
and
che
watch us from
ognuno trovi
above.
amore
We'll be so we'll find
intorno e dentro sé.
another so true love. Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer.
Just like every child,
Just